What's up everyone, it's Arnold here. So we all know about the epic GameStop short squeeze of 2021, where a bunch of Redditors have bunched together, drove up the price of GameStop by buying up all the available stock and causing short sellers, hedge funds to cover their losses and drive up the price even further. However, last week Robinhood actually halted trading of GameStop in addition to several other brokerages, such as Charles Schwab and TD. And some say it was because they were colluding with the hedge funds that had vested interest in Robinhood. Well, Robinhood came out with the true reason, whether you believe it or not. And the reason is that they restricted trading because they needed to raise capital, raise cash, in order to meet the collateral requirements of a clearinghouse. But what does that mean? What are clearinghouses and what's a collateral? Well, we're gonna get into all that in this video, so stay tuned. Okay, so first of all, why did Robinhood halt trading? So their reason was that they needed to restrict trading on these stocks until it could increase its collateral with a depository trust and clearing corporation. A clearinghouse ensures trades happen regardless of what happens to a broker. They're responsible for transferring the ownership between the buyer and the seller and to make sure that everything is working as in order for both the cash involved and the stock involved as well. It's a sort of middleman to make sure everyone is playing nice with each other. So to give an example, let's say you're on Craigslist and you're buying a Pokemon card. Once you find a seller, you would contact the seller and you would meet up at the bridge, right? And you would exchange the money and the Pokemon card and everyone goes their own way. But in this case, a middleman would actually appear between yourself, the buyer, and the seller. So you would provide the cash to the middleman and the seller would provide the Pokemon card to the middleman as well. The middleman will make sure the cash is there, the Pokemon is there, and then provide the Pokemon card to you and the cash to the seller to make sure everything is working as in order. So how does this work? So let's say when you buy a stock with Apple, the brokerage, in this case Robinhood, would send the order to the NASDAQ, the exchange. The NASDAQ would then match up a buyer and a seller, but it doesn't end there. After NASDAQ matches the buyer and seller, it sends the information to a clearinghouse, and it's called the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. A clearinghouse, in this case DTCC, actually requires a collateral from the buyer side to make sure that the cash is there. It's a sort of refundable deposit that reduces the risk of the middleman. So the buying brokerage is required to front up to 10% of the stock's value. The amount of collateral is based on the stock's value, its volatility, and several other variables. For a risk-free stock such as Apple or Microsoft, the collateral tends to be around 10%. However, in the case of GameStop, it actually went up to 100%. That means that whenever you buy a stock of GameStop on Robinhood, Robinhood is required to front up 100% of the stock's value, of the purchase value, in order to meet the collateral requirements of the clearinghouse. But Robinhood at the time last week did not have enough cash to front up to 100% in every sale. So they restricted trading in order to draw up credit lines, to meet with investors, in order to raise additional cash in order to pay that collateral. So last week it was reported that Robinhood raised an additional $1 billion in cash in order to pay this collateral. And that is why Robinhood halted trading. They just didn't have enough cash to pay this collateral, and therefore they needed to halt trading or else they couldn't pay the collateral and therefore they couldn't execute the trade, reportedly. So that's the end of story, right? Well, I don't think so. This is what Robinhood said, and we're still very early in the process. Some additional news might come up in this week, so stay tuned and subscribe for that information. So that's it everybody, this is Clearinghouses Explained. This is why Robinhood halted trading in order to raise enough cash to meet the collateral, and I hope you learned something today. Feel free to subscribe and like this video if you like this content, and I'll see you in the next video.